Hi, everybody. I am still getting used to having a different kind of camera and also using a mic, so I might flub up. Anyway, I'm Lorina Quigley, your mystic medium, and I am a psychic, I'm a medium, I'm a channeler. I've had amazing mystical experiences, and that is what has led me down this road to do this kind of work, is some of my experiences. And today I'm going to talk about having experiences and how it can change your life and where it might lead you, and the confusion that it can lead you to, because it can bring confusion to your life, and also how you are perceived by other people if you want to share your stories, because, well, we want to share our stories. I think that we all do. I think it's healthy. Now, there is oversharing, but that's something else entirely. But it's healthy to share. And we don't want to be perceived as crazy. And that's one of the things that I wrote down here. When you have mystical experiences or angelic experiences, and what that can do to you, how it can change your life, and how you're perceived by people, can mess with you in some ways. And that's where the difficulty lies. So, having angelic experiences, how does it change you? Now, I've shared this before. This was, I think, around 2012. It could have been actually earlier than that. Come to think of it, but, I think it was earlier than that. When I started getting into matrix energetics, is when this happened. So it might have been around 2009. Anyway, I could look it up because I have workbooks from that time period, and it has the year in there. But anyway, angelic experiences, yes, it can change you. And I want to share my experience, and I've shared it before. Those paintings that I have in the back, and I have a few more paintings here now. This is one I'm working on right now. This is a new one. I don't know how well. Let's see. How well can you see that? Yeah, that's one of my new paintings. See, it's on. This one's on art paper, but I moved to canvas. So this is. This is the one I'm painting now, on canvas finally. And this is what they look like. This is my experience of what they look like. I'll show this one from this a little bit further back. See if you can see it. And having these experiences, when this happened to me, it was quite wondrous, and that's a good word for it. It was an incredibly beautiful experience. I saw 10 beings come from the ceiling down into the room. And they were quite tall. They're in between, I would say, 10 feet to 12 feet tall. They're very, very tall, and they were all light. And what I mean by that is like streams of light moving and coming off of them. And there were central points where the light came from, as like there's like from here, and down in the sacral area, below the belly button there. And this light was moving off of them, and as the light moved, they were all white, and there were streams of light, and as the light moved, sparks of light that looked like little diamonds would spark as they moved, and that's why this is painted with these little sparks in them. I don't know if you can see it from here, but this one, I need to paint a lot more sparks in that, and they were different colors. And these beings were predominantly, they were white, but some of them, like one had more blue, one had more pink and red and yellow, and this one orange and yellow. Anyway, so I think you get the point. So there was a lot of color coming off of them, but they were white streams of light, and the colored lights flickered as they moved. One of them did stand in front of me, directly in front of me, And my simple perception was, oh, that's me. Now, was that my higher self? Is that an angelic being? Who is that? And why do I think it's me? I can't even answer why I think that it was me. That is a simple perception of an experience that was happening right at that moment. And it could be a version of myself, I think that's very, very possible. Definitely possible. But I'm going to move on. So, but this is what, having these experiences, what it really brings up a lot of questions. So, as this was happening, this being stepped in front of me. I'm going to call it an angel, because at this point I'm calling them angels. It stepped in front of me and said, do you want to see how to manifest? And I said, yes. Who would say no? And he kind of steps back, and around him were suddenly 360 degrees bars of light all around them. These bars of light were like a couple inches wide and about 3 feet long, something like that. And I'm looking at it, and he said, this is how you create your reality. And he said, he's communicating telepathically, and it was more male, that's why I'm saying he. This is how you create. These are all the possibilities. And you look at all the possibilities, because all the possibilities exist in the realm of possibilities. And you look at it and go, oh, this is it. This is what I want. Boom. And you connect with it and you bring it in. Now, that's pretty simple. Now, is it really that easy to manifest? I'm still working that out. But anyway, so at some point they all just kind of gathered up and went back up into the ceiling, or through the ceiling, I should say. So again, what do you do with this? What do you do with this information? That is the confusing part. And what do I do? I mean, what do I do with this? But also sharing it, because you start sharing things like this to people, and you are afraid, this is my experience, you are afraid you're going to be perceived as crazy. Delusional, crazy, a whole bunch of words that are similar. And that's the last thing that you want. You want to be believed, and because it's real. This happened during the day with my eyes open. And again, did this change my life? Not really. It set me on a trajectory of seeking more information. Who are these beings really? What are angels? Getting information about angels so that I have more knowledge and information about what angels are. But there's no definitive angels are this and that is it, unless you're really religious and follow a particular religious dogma. I'm more open than that, so I think that, again, the answers to that, to what are angels, is a search. Also, along that same vein, going down that path of searching, what are these beings? I've had people see those paintings and go, oh, those are the Trintinians. What are the Trintinians? They are a race of extra-dimensional beings that connected with Earth on here and have brought a crystal called palinette. And I do have one. It's really beautiful, that are very rare and expensive and hard to find. And and I've sat on a bed underneath some palinette crystals. And there is an energy that is there. And these people, when they saw my painting, said, oh yeah, those are the Trintinians. Do I know that they are the Trintinians? I know I don't know. Now, I haven't sat in meditation and said, hey, are you guys the Trinitinians? Right now, my belief is that they're angelics. They are angelic beings. And I use these paintings. I have them at work in my studio, and I connect with them when I do energy healing. And I feel their energy come in. And also when I have a couple of psychic development circles, mediumship circles, and when we do meditation, I bring them in. And there are times when the experience is really exceptional, extraordinary, beautiful, because you can really feel this oh, sorry, my jaw just did something really weird. You can feel this energy coming in through the ethers, through the dimensions, raising the frequency of the room. And other people, it's not just me, other people feel it and see it. See it in their mind's eye, not physically, but you can see these. I have seen them physically, so I know that that is possible. So I do use it in my life. I haven't tried to, that's not true, sorry. I have meditated, connecting with them and asked them who they are. I still don't have a definitive answer. But I am painting more of these paintings, and I sit them in front of me and go, oh my God, this is, there's an amazing power that exists within this. And also when you have kind of extraordinary experiences with spirit or from spirit or seeing spirits, I think the question to ask yourself is, do these experiences bring you peace? Do they bring you peace? Do they bring you love? Do they bring you a quietness in your heart? And that is one of the tests. What does it bring to you in your life? Does it bring you peace? It could bring you to a place of searching and wanting and needing to find out more. That can be good. That can be bad. And wanting to have more experiences, which again, that could be good, that can be bad. How it can be good is it can lead you on a path of discovery, where you become more spiritual. You become a more spiritual being and have deeper understandings about life. But it can be bad, as you can go down some rabbit holes, go down some pretty big rabbit holes that take you away from yourself. And I really mean that. And I've done that too. I am part of all my searches that I've done, because I'm very, very spiritual, and I seek. I am a seeker. I have to know. I ended up in this weird New Age cult. Now, when you join a New Age cult, you think, oh, this is really interesting and fun and blah, blah, blah. You don't know it's a cult until you've been in it for a while, and you've already invested energy, probably money, time. And what I found when I was doing this is it was shutting me down. So I had to kind of pull myself out of that, and it felt like I was starting all over again, because it did start shutting me down. So I had to do some work to open myself back up again. But you learn your lessons. This is life, and this is exploration. Sometimes it's not the right path, and you find out, and then you go back. But what it can do is lead you into a spiritual practice. And so it's good to develop a spiritual practice. And what could that spiritual practice be? Well, it could be church for you. I mean, it could be church for some people. That is not my deal at all. That's because I was raised Mormon in Utah. I've had enough of that. But, you have to find your own path, and you have to discover it. And so in that spiritual journey, the things that have worked for me is meditation. There are many ways to learn how to meditate, and there are many meditation practices. Transcendental meditation is one of them. It's expensive now to actually learn it, but you can go on YouTube and get some meditation, guided meditations for whatever subject you want that is spiritually based. You can sit in stillness. It's just sitting. You can sit in nature and just become an observer. Breath work is an incredible spiritual practice. It is one of the most powerful spiritual practices that you can do. And I truly mean that. It is one of the most powerful practices that you can do. Now, you have to learn about breath work, because there are some breath work practices that some people should not do, that they can be dangerous or stir up trauma. So you really have to be careful and learn about breath work before you dive into it. I've done a lot of breath work. I am a breath work practitioner. Myself, when I did breath work, I've done breath work throughout the years, but this first time jumping into breath work, Soma Breath, I highly recommend it. I did the 21-day journey. The 21-day journey, the first week is you're just doing breath work for 20 minutes a day. 20 minutes a day. That is not long. But I absolutely knew that it would stir up, some old emotions would start coming out. And I got really sad. I mean, more sad than I thought I would be. It was like, oh, shit. I didn't think I would be this upset. And I got through it. And then after that kind of started moving through me, I had some incredible spiritual experiences. So I do absolutely recommend doing breath work. But you have to be careful. Be careful. But it can really create a spiritual base for you. And now when I do it, many years later, it just makes me feel stronger. And when I say stronger, just internal, there is an internal strength that comes from doing it that is just beautiful and that I love. I love it. It's like, oh my God, I feel so good, because it's just not my head, my heart. There is a balance that takes place that I feel internally strong. Now that's me. That's my journey. Your journey may be different. Chanting is really good. That's a good one. When you meditate, this is just my advice from having done this for many years. When you meditate, a lot of times when we meditate, we're trying to go out. We're trying to go out and escape. Let's go astral project, which is, hey, these are great things. I love all that stuff, like going out and expanding and going out and then seeing from a different perspective. These are good things. But what I recommend is going within. See if you can pull your energy in and go deep within yourself. This is where an alignment and a strength can take place when you go inside of yourself. Sometimes we don't want to go inside of ourselves. There's stuff that we're running away from in there. But it's very powerful if you can do that and sit within yourself as a spiritual practice. Prayer is a beautiful practice. I recommend that. I had a friend, she's not alive anymore, Trishna. She's in spirit listening now. She was a psychic medium and tarot card reader, incredible lady. She taught me a lot. We were good friends. She would go to church. She would go to a Catholic church and sit in there all night long and pray, and use it as a sanctuary to go pray. Now, I don't know if churches are open all night, but she knew ones that were, and she did that. She would all night long for hours and hours and hours just sit and pray and do her meditative practice through prayer in a church. This is what she did. And it gave her incredible strength. And she had a weird life, so she needed it. And we all need it. On occasion, we all really need an extra boost of strength. And so one of the other things that you can do is seek out teachers. Seek out teachers, information, read books. I read old books. I seek out older books. A lot of newer books, they're kind of whitewashed and the information is not great. I read older books. Those are the ones that I seek out because there's more information in them. And this is where seeking teachers, and hey, I was seeking teachers when I ended up in that New Age cult. And I'm not going to tell you what New Age cult it is because if I started giving information I knew about that, I would probably get attacked and people don't want to hear it. I'm serious. I'm really serious. Yeah. Anyway, not going to go there. People would be upset if they heard what I had to say about a particular New Age cult that a lot of people have heard of. Anyway, I'm not going to talk about that. I swear I just saw somebody walk by. Maybe it's a spirit. Anyway, but this is where discernment comes in. Discernment. And as you grow and get older, discernment is a superpower. Now you don't want to turn things down just because of a feeling that you don't like something. So really true discernment to sit with it and see how you feel. And maybe say a prayer. Connect with your higher self. Connect with your guides and see what's going on. Yeah. Anyway, discernment is key. Super, super important. Okay, I made a few notes of what I want to talk about. And I just wanted to say that when you have these experiences, and this is one of the major experiences I've had, the one that I spoke about today, seeing these beings of light come into a room. When you have these experiences, what you're experiencing could be just an opening, a door of exploration for you to step through and to see where it leads as part of your journey and as part of the progression of your soul. And sometimes you won't know the whole answer to what this really is for many, many years, because it can take time to unravel the mystery. And you have to be okay with not knowing all the answers too, because sometimes you just don't know. But it leads you on the journey, and it's a beautiful, beautiful journey. Anyway, I think I'll end there. Hey guys, I do readings and energy healings online or remotely and in person in my studio here in Phoenix, Arizona. I teach classes. I run psychic development circles, mediumship circles, and I'm going to start a channeling circle too soon. Yay! Where people get together and practice channeling. And soon those will be online too, as far as being on Zoom, so that more people can join, not just here in Phoenix. Anyway, I hope you found this interesting. Please share some of your experiences of meeting higher beings. It's really cool. And this is a place where you can share that. You can share that here. Anyway, I think that's it for now, guys. Have a great day, everybody. All right, and Peanut says hi, too. Hey, Peanut. Peanut! No, can't get his attention. He's snoozing. All right. Have a great day, everyone. Have a great day, everyone. That just paused for a second. I don't know what I was doing. Anyway. Oh, there's Peanut. Hi, Peanut. My computer is a little more sensitive than I thought it was. All right. Have a great day. Bye, everybody.